With us now is Attorney Michael Yusinko, Senior Research Fellow at the Ateneo Policy Center. Now, good morning, Attorney.
Yeah.
Good morning, Diego. Good morning, Angela. Good morning to all your listeners and viewers.
Alright, Attorney, ang daming pag-uusapan natin today, no? But go
Yeah,
ahead.
I want to know if walking out in the plenary session is a right thing to do on the side of the minority bloc.
Alam mo, I don't think it's a right thing or the wrong thing to do. I think that's, kumbaga, hindi na to yung issue dito. Ang issue dito that wala na silang ibang magawa at that particular point. No? At that point, the majority was, well, at least from their eyes, no, from the minority's perspective, the majority was intent on railroading that change, no, pushing that change using the tyranny of numbers. No? So, from the perspective of the minority, which I can understand, wala na silang ibang option kung hindi yung mag-walk out. That was their last resort. That was their nuclear option. At they took it. At it worked, no? Kasi they were able to stop the railroading of that rule change.
So, Attorney, parang mukhang this was a tactical way of delaying it. Kasi alam naman natin, come Monday, possible na wala na silang numero. If in-enforce yung arrest ni Senator Jinggoy Estrada today, no? Moving forward with all these arrests coming in left and right sa Senado, how do you think this will affect the Senate as a whole in the institution? Tapos pa-approach pa tayo ng impeachment.
Well, on the bigger picture, it's really going to diminish an already tarnished institution, you know? So yun yung bigger picture natin dyan, Diego. But on the nitty-gritty of this, syempre, operationally, magkakaroon ng mga pagbabago. For instance, pag mabawasan yung numbers ng majority ngayon, obviously, there's going to be a change, no? Yung minority, yung SB 11, they will eventually become the majority, and of course, they will now control the operations of the Senate. Now, how that bears out doon sa impeachment trial, I think mas magiging mas maayos at mas mawawala ng kulay. No? Kasi kung yung majority ang tumatangan doon sa impeachment trial, yung majority ngayon, sila yung tumatangan doon sa trial, may kulay kasi marami sa kanila nagsabi na hindi sila pabor sa impeachment. Nagsabi na ang boto nila acquittal. So, may kulay, di ba? Pero kung yung minority ngayon ay sila ulit ang naging majority at sila yung tumatangan dun sa impeachment proceedings, mawawala yung kulay na yon. And I think yung perception ng marami sa atin ay mas magiging maayos yung daloy nung trial mismo.
But
Pero I wanna-
dugtong ko lang now. Dugtong ko lang very quickly before I turn you over to Angela, Attorney. Kasi si Senator Ping Lacson discussed a possible approach to the leadership. No? He was asked kung may plan sila to change the leadership pag nagkaroon ng numero. Parang ang feeling ng current minority is as is because kailangan ng 13 at pag sila naman manipis. So ang mangyayari daw, majority yung may new majority pero the Senate leadership remains in place. And ang role ni Senator SP Cayetano, parang presiding officer na lang ang power niya. Although Senate President ka, wala kang control sa Senado.
That's very bizarre. No? Parang, I don't know how that's going to work in real life. No? Siguro, in a classroom discussion, magandang pag-usapan. No? Parang game of the generals ang dating. Pero in actual operations of the Senate, parang you cannot separate yung presiding officer role from the Senate presidency role ng isang tao, right? Kasi kung parehong tao yun, then he has to perform his two jobs or his two duties like he's supposed to do, right? So, I don't know. Hindi ko alam. Baka Senator Lacson is onto something, but I mean, from my perspective as an outsider, parang napapakamot ulo ko doon is that workable? Is that viable? So I do not know. I do not know kung
Let's see.
if that's going to work or not.
Well, on your argument earlier, you said that itong recent majority ay nagbibigay ng kulay because they are known Duterte allies and they were known also to oppose the impeachment trial since day first. Now, let's turn it over, no, for the sake of argument, for the sake of fairness, let's turn it over to the other side of the fence, wherein some of the members of the minority bloc are also known Duterte's critics. So, hindi ba may kulay din yun?
That's a fair point. No? Fair criticism din yon on them. Kaya lang, ang pinangahawakan ko kasi, at least yung mga kontra Duterte faction sa Senado, I don't believe they've ever come out and say, we will vote conviction agad. Just because kontra kami sa politika sa kanya. Whereas yung allies ni Vice President Duterte, they've openly declared na they will vote acquittal, di ba?
Yeah.
That they are actually against the impeachment of the Vice President. So, yun yung sinasabi kong kulay. It's not necessarily yung political colors, no? Ang sinasabi kong kulay is yung mga senador na nasa mayorya na ngayon, marami sa kanila or ilan sa kanila, nagsabi na ng kanilang boto kahit wala pa yung trial. That is the kulay that I'm referring to.
Alright, so going to the topic of online participation and online voting, ano po ba yung kumbaga parang significance no na ang isang judge ay dapat physically present doon sa plenaryo pagdating sa botohan, and of course this time around may pinag-uusapan tayong impeachment.
So una muna, I want to clarify. We're talking about the impeachment, online voting sa impeachment. We're not talking about online voting in legislation or video conferencing in lawmaking. So that's a totally different matter, no? So pag pinag-uusapan natin yung impeachment itself, I think there are two views here. And it all boils down kung ano ba yung expectation natin dun sa senator judges. Kasi if you talk about a court of law, very clear yung expectation sa court of law judge. And that is to personally hear the testimonies. Meron ng mga reasonings dyan na I'm sure na-discuss na ng iba. And also to manage the conduct of the trial. That's the role of the court of law judge. Kaya in the context of a court of law judge, parang imposible yung remote work, no? Kailangan nandun siya dun sa trabaho niya mismo. When it comes to the senator judge kasi, hindi naman siya required to manage the proceedings, no? Kasi ang trabaho nun nandun sa presiding officer. And hindi naman siya required to ask probing questions. Hindi naman siya required to ask or to kumbaga to observe personally yung witnesses and whatever, di ba? Kasi I mean, he's there to make a decision, acquittal or conviction. That's the expectation, right? Based on the Constitution and their rules. So, specifically, kung paano niya mapupuntahan yung desisyon na yon, either conviction and acquittal, then that's open, di ba? Kung papayag na, kung pwedeng gawing remotely, then so be it. So, ang sinasabi ko lang, my point is, we cannot use the standard of a court of law judge to impose it on the senator judges kasi iba yung circumstances. But I'm not endorsing na, just to be clear, I'm not endorsing na payagan yung online voting and video conferencing. I'm just saying, let's be commonsensical here na we cannot use the standards of the rules of court for a court of law judge and then superimpose it on the impeachment and the senator judges, because those are two different circumstances.
But is it ethical, attorney? Kasi alam naman natin, although internal rules ng Senado and political and process ng impeachment, pero yung pattern of which the impeachment court was constituted based on history is they got little bits and pieces from also the court. Diba? So, meron silang part legislator coming from the Senate and Congress and then part coming from the court. So, based on that, isn't it parang ang spirit nito or ang essence nitong impeachment is to try somebody. When you try, then you have to be there and present and know everything that is happening. Pag hindi nangyari ito, baka magkaroon ng cloud of distrust among the people.
Yeah.
Again, that's a fair point, no? Kaya lang, siguro yung minor pushback ko sa'yo is that when the rules were crafted, wala pang technology that can facilitate video conferencing, di ba, and online voting. Hindi pa within the realm of possibility yon, di ba? You can get to the lang. You can just imagine, for example, isang senator judge na aksidente siya, na hospital siya, right? During the trial. Hindi na ba pwedeng makontinue niya yung trabaho niya remotely in the hospital bed if his faculties are still working? You know what I mean? Kumbaga, ang sinasabi natin is the idea of teleconferencing and online voting in the impeachment trial should be entertained, should be considered, pero kailangan pag-aralan ng mabuti.
Correct ka doon, attorney, yung sinabi mong, let's say, nagkaroon ng aksidente, he was there throughout the process, pero di siya makaboto. That is fine. Pero ang usapan kasi dito is, alam natin saan pupunta tong electronic voting. It's to cater,
What is the
supposedly.
context of
ang
this?
konteksto kasi nito is it's happening and being pushed this week before the arrest of possible 3 Duterte allies. Ngayon, ang question, let's be specific. What is your stand on voting or through teleconferencing sa impeachment pag arrested yung person in question? Let's say Senator Jinggoy Estrada, Senator Joel Villanueva and Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Hypothetically, kung na-enforce na yung arrest, okay ba sa'yo yun?
It's not about being okay with me or not. Talagang hindi pwede yun kasi if you're already a detained or a detention prisoner,
Ibang usapan yun, no?
or a fugitive from justice for that matter, ibang usapan yun.
Yeah.
Hindi na talaga pwede. Kumbaga, kung halimbawa isama nila sa rules yon, for example, pinalitan nila yung rules, pwedeng online voting and teleconferencing, including lawmakers who are detained or lawmakers are fugitives from justice, hindi pwede yun. Kasi that's yun yung tinatawag nating unlawful. That's not only unethical, but that's unlawful, that's undemocratic, that's unconstitutional. So, yung scenario na yun, yung sinasabi mo, Diego, that is not, or that cannot be allowed based on the law itself or even our rules, no, yung rules of criminal procedure. Once detained prisoner ka na or detention prisoner ka na, or fugitive ka from justice, talagang limited na yung rights mo.
But what about the argument, attorney? What about the argument na arrested pa lang naman sila, kaso pa lang naman, there's no conviction yet?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain. Kung detention prisoner ka na, talagang mako-curtail na yung rights mo. That's already part of our criminal justice system. Hindi iba na yung rights mo sa isang rights ng isang malayang tao, yung hindi detention prisoner. So that allows yung curtailment of those rights, no? For example, kung lawmaker ka, just like what happened to Senator De Lima, 'di ba? Sabi ng korte sa kanya, hindi ka na pwedeng payagan na, 'di ba? Kasi nakakulong ka eh.
That's right.
You cannot be given special treatment,
Or
'di ba?
privileges.
So ganon. So ganon din. Kung the same principle should apply dito sa online voting or teleconferencing in the context of the impeachment. Kung nakakulong na yung senador, Hindi na siya pwede. Hindi siya pwedeng mag-online voting or teleconferencing kasi nakakulong na siya eh. So, hindi siya pwede under the law and under the Constitution.
Alright, sige. Mag-aabang tayo by Monday kung
Let's
ano
see.
yung magiging desisyon pagdedebatihan nila itong online voting and online participation. But with that, thank you muna, Attorney Michael Yusinko. And we'll get back to you for sure dun sa mga paano mag-unfold itong mga events na to. But thank you so much for your time, Attorney Michael Yusinko. Good morning.